everyone. Today there's no Spanish translation live, it will be done later. Hoy no hay traducción español en vivo. Será más tarde, I think. While everyone connects, we contemplate simplicity. I will share today a mistake I did over the years, hoping you will not make it. Yeah, let's start with simplicity. Which brings the question, what is simplicity? We'll talk about it a bit. Would simplicity be the contrary of complicated? Probably so. There are, of course, many possible definitions of those. Let's say complicated is, as a person, to be complicated, is when we dramatically need to be involved. There's a situation and we must feel involved. Okay. Simplicity, even if the situation concerns us, simplicity is not the need to emotionally involve or react. So it seems in this view, this is just one approach. It seems that simplicity comes from being non-dramatic. Simplicity derives from peace. Okay. So contemplating simplicity means contemplate peace and the aspect of not reacting emotionally. Now, often you think you're reacting intellectually, like, get all involved. It comes from emotions. Okay? But yes, the intellect goes, I have to say something about it, or I have to do something about this. Simplicity is important to find peace also. They go together. Simplicity rises from peace and it leads to peace. So we contemplate simplicity. Sometimes things are mechanically complicated. When a situation has many variables, like more than we can think, that is a kind of complication which is acceptable in life. Some things are complicated when they concern situations. But when complicated means inside, hey, what's going on with you on this topic? And you say, well, it's complicated. That is obviously a lack of simplicity, but it is not complicated. It simply means I would have to be honest with myself in order to find peace. And I don't want to be honest with myself, so it's complicated. Okay? So we make the difference between objective complication, when something is complex for real, and emotional complications. When we just say, it's complicated because we're just confused with the things we do not want to feel. Simplicity at this point would also mean to be humble, honest with ourselves. Yeah, it's not complicated, it's emotions. More than one. When two potentials rise at the same time, and your mind goes, I can't deal with more than one thing at a time. It's complicated. But actually it's just more than one emotion, sometimes just two. Simplicity is important to be at peace. I did not feel well this morning when I woke up, and I was at peace nonetheless. It is quite an interesting feeling. I wish you can find that. When you feel bad, I guess I feel nostalgia. Abandonment, also knowing isolation might go another 6 months. It's not total isolation. I see my kids, which is wonderful. But I'm at peace. And that comes from being simple. So I thought I would share this. I feel more than one thing at a time. I feel abandonment, probably less than you, but I have some. And I also feel peace. And deep in the corner in the back, there's joy, gratitude, hatred. Why do I feel some hatred rising from my subconscious? You see, we can be at peace while having all these different potentials roaming inside. It is possible. Okay. To be simple, calm yourself, take one thing at a time. You'll deal with one potential at a time, one situation at a time. The only time something really is complicated for real is when it is an objective complication in the outside world. A puzzle can be complicated. Some situations can be complicated, but inside, it's complicated. It's just that we don't want to face it. Give another metaphor. When you see a mountain of emotions and ego patterns, and you think, that's complicated. It's not a mountain of complication. It's a mountain of simple things. One simple thing, another simple thing, another simple thing. All got together, but it's just a lot of simple things at the same time. And each of these things, the potentials, the ego patterns, the reflexes, the genetic reflexes, all of these are simple things, each of them, in a little pile that you call a mountain, but it's a little pile. There's just a few. And you call that complicated, okay? is the childish response of the ego. Oh, I don't want to work on it. I don't want to do the dishes. I don't want to take my bath. I understand. It is one simple thing at a time. All of these things are simple. Okay? So simplicity is an attitude. You have to choose. Let's calm ourselves, figure out one potential at a time, integrate, and it will be resolved. Okay? So that's the introduction of today's class. I hope it helps find simplicity. The more personal growth you do, the more you will be able to feel peace while there is other potentials active. It takes time. That one takes time. It can take years. Basically, calm yourself, chill in front of your pile of simple things. Yeah, okay, it's just one thing at a time. There's not an excitement, an anxiety inside that wants to be out of suffering as fast as possible. It's not gonna happen anyway. So when we lose our peace, because potentials rise, emotions rise. Oh no, I can't, I must not feel that. We panic because we don't want to go through it. And it's a normal denial. We get all excited in our brain. We try to find a fast solution to resolve it instead of processing the experience. And it gets complicated. And we cannot feel peace. Okay? So the humility to accept, it's another thing. I'm gonna have to go through it. It's life. It's part of evolution. It happens. Okay? So let's calm ourselves and take one thing at a time. And then it's simple again. And we can find peace in there. While there is suffering, there can be some kind of peace. Okay? Let's deal with this and then deal with the other. And I can do this. Okay? You have to decide that you can do it. There has to be a decision. Okay, I can do this. I can calm myself. And I can process one thing at a time. Even if it hurts. That will bring simplicity. Let's talk about simplicity in our behavior. Simplicity, in this case, another angle to it, which is the contrary to being annoying. Okay? When someone is simple, they're calm, they do one thing at a time. When someone is not simple, they complicate things. That might be us. You have to identify yourself too when you do that, okay? When you are the annoying person, okay, that is usually a dramatic need of attention. So you will address others and you would approach a problem with that complication. So simplicity is not to be motivated by seeking attention. It is staying calm, looking at one simple thing at a time, taking it easy. And in this case, you apply the wisdom. You don't need to aggress the others or gain their attention or prove a point to them. And then you become a simple person. Simplicity is so useful in life. It makes people like you. That's cool. I'll speak about other reasons why people might like me or dislike me afterwards. And then you'll apply this to you, of course. Take example on me just so you can identify yourself. I think because there's no Spanish translation today, I'm speaking very fast. For French people, I will slow down. Sorry. Contemplate yourself being simple. You can know what it is when you are not simple. When you see your feelings just want attention, want to prove a point. When you take personal comment or an event and you feel the need to defend yourself. Well, if your life is in danger, defend yourself, of course. Prudence first. But if it's just ego talking, it's just people, monkeys in the jungle throwing shit at each other, you don't need to defend yourself. You can focus on peace, being simple. Okay? So you'll have to try your best to understand this teaching, and you'll have to find what it feels like to be simple. So it's not just an attitude in the head, it's a feeling as a state of being. Feeling simple. Simplicity. Let's take a minute to contemplate it. Simplicity. It's a decision to stay centered, trust your experience with the wisdom when shit happens, when problems rise. Simplicity is an attitude. It saves so much time of integration. It saves a lot of time in explanations. Sometimes it is wise to explain a point of view when others are receptive and when it's important to understand what is happening. Sometimes it's useless to try to explain anything. And simplicity is just to find peace in a situation. Especially if explanations will not be heard, or if they lead to no solution anyway. Simplicity, so important. To be simple as a person is simply not to get carried away with reactions. So it takes a bit of mastery. It takes experience in personal growth. It takes focus on your own integrity. Yeah, that is important. All right. Let's talk about another angle of simplicity, okay? I am an eccentric person. That is not simple. That's eccentric. We can describe eccentricity as irresponsible creativity. What do I mean by that? Well, it's complicated. No, it's simple. It's just a lot of simple things, okay? I'm creative. I'm poetic and theatrical. I'm also curious, okay? Let's say I am in public, interacting with people, and I like people, and I'll give a simple compliment or a comment. And sometimes they'll be wondering, why is this person talking to me? If I'm being creative, it's just I feel things. I want to express love to the world. Typical New Ager, right? That's what I am. More or less. I want to spread the love, okay? So I give a compliment. That compliment was not asked. It's in public. I don't know this person. I'm being creative. Oh, I'm trying to be creative now. My mind goes blank. Simple. Hey, you have a nice shirt today. You have to understand, other people will take this as, what does he want? You know, most people who don't do personal growth, they always have a reason to give a compliment, manipulate, or expect something from someone, okay? So you give a compliment to someone, and you have a chance that the person will accept it. There's a chance, like, what the fuck does he want? What, this guy, how weird, why is he talking to me, okay? Maybe it's someone who does not accept kindness. Someone with low self-esteem who doesn't want to hear a compliment. They hate themselves, so it rises when love is felt. So there might be many reasons. Okay? In this sense, I have been annoying, wanting to be kind. In this sense, I was not simple. Yeah. I was the annoying person. Basically, being eccentric makes me creatively irresponsible. I'm creative. I give a compliment. I say a joke out of nowhere. I hear people talk. I say a word game on a word they used. I find it funny. They find me annoying. When we are not amongst friends, when we are not in a context that we are used to, okay? We never know how people will take it. Okay? And as a New Ager, we become annoying and we are eccentric. You know, if we so much need to spread the love that we end up not applying expedient means. We want to spread the love, we want to joke around, we want to have fun, we want to give hugs to the world. It's a beautiful thought. But others feel invaded by this kind of mentality. Yeah. It is not a respect of other space. Okay? So out of wanting to spread the love, you become complicated, annoying, eccentric. Okay. So it is to be irresponsible with your creativity. It is not a responsible application of virtue. But I want to love the world. Yeah. But if the world doesn't want your love, you're just causing trouble. Okay. So most of my life, I've been eccentric. Okay. Talking a bit too loud at a restaurant, getting a bit too much drunk in public. Of course, when I get drunk, I compliment people and I throw wisdom out of, to whoever goes by, which they don't want. It's not cool. Some people, when they're drunk, they hate the world. I just want to teach. I haven't been drunk for quite a while now. It feels good. But still, I was young. I was eccentric. I guess I still am eccentric. So we try to justify in our mind, but it's to spread the love. Yeah, they don't want that love. It won't be received. That is complicated. That is not simple. Okay. So simplicity is to accept. I will not get that attention. My need to spread this love, it won't spread love. It was just to get that attention in return. What I was spreading was turbulence. Go and love someone who wants it. Basically, love someone when they are in a context that they expressed it. It is appropriate for me to love my students, my family, my friends, the few that I have. When someone does not expect the love, that doesn't make you virtuous to have compassion to the world. That makes you annoying. Okay. So to be eccentric is to be theatrical and poetic, to be creative, and not care how the others will feel it. And then you say, well, that's me, that's me, that's who I am, and they have to just deal with it. Compassion, the true sense of compassion, is to care about what the others feel. One other thing. It's also to trust evolution more than denial. But it starts with, if you love the other, you'll respect them where they are now. You'll respect their rhythm of evolution. You'll respect who they are and how they are. So saying that we just want to spread the love and, just be all who we are, actually we just want the attention in return. By being theatrical, taking too much space, but that's who I am. Yeah, an asshole, basically. When I was eccentric, I was an asshole. Why do I say was in the past? Yeah. When I am eccentric, I am an asshole. Yeah. Present tense. Better. Simplicity is to understand the mechanics behind it. To be eccentric is to be creatively irresponsible. Most of the times, people in public do not want to be troubled by what you have to say. So, in your culture, each of you know what will just make someone smile. A very simple compliment. Oh, thank you, that was kind of you. Or, oh, thank you for the help, I appreciate it. Something very simple. Instead of, oh, my lady, you have very nice elbows. Yeah, just because you think, well, it's better than saying you have nice tits, Well, I mean, if it's still too much. Okay. Some girls are into fashion. They recognize other girls that are into fashion. They say, I like your purse, out of nowhere. Those fashion people understand because they see visually, oh, a person of the same kind of context. People who like fashion. So that's an example. You could say a compliment. But if I'm a man and I look at a young lady, I say, I like how your shoes match your eyes. I mean, it might be true, but the first thing this lady will think is, what the hell does this guy want? Even if the compliment is accurate. Okay. So being eccentric is not being simple. And it comes from a deeper need of attention. I hope you will be able to recognize yourself and understand your motivations to, get attention. But I have so much love to give. Yeah. Are you really peaceful? If you have so much love to give, that means there's a pressure inside that wants to go out. What is that pressure? It's not love. It's abandonment. Having so much love to give is a pressure, meaning it's a potential, meaning it's a denial and an emotion, mostly, with an ego mechanics. So it's probably fear of loneliness, abandonment. You need to feel emotions with others. Then you justify it with spirituality. But I have compassion for the world. I want to hug them all. Buzz off, weirdo. I don't want your hug. And you got germs, and what do you want? It's too much. Okay? So when you have this pressure, I need to love the world. If it's a pressure, there's a denial. There's an emotion. There's an ego mechanics. Simplicity with loving the world is simply to sit. Let's do it right now. We are relaxed. I feel the need to love the world. Good. Let me think about all human beings. That's what I meant by the world. It's every human. Because it wasn't about the animals, it was about the humans. Okay, this time. Love. I will not get anything from this. It is me who experience love for them. For whoever needs to feel love can feel some of that potential I want to share. And as the Diamond Sutra teaches us, I will not receive anything in return for this love that I give. It is given for them. Sitting alone in my chair, contemplating the feeling, transmigrating, without effort, just transmigrating in whoever needs to feel loved. May you feel a presence right now. But me as an ego, I will not have confirmation of that. Pure charity of my love for others. Now you take a deep breath. And part of your human said, yeah, but that's not what I meant. That's not satisfying. Part of the ego says, but what I wanted actually is for the others to love me. You'll see it. When you think, I need to share my love to the world. And then you say, good, I'll go alone. I'll give my love to the world. And get nothing out of it. The goal is to give my love to the world. Getting nothing out of it, your ego complains. What the fuck? I mean, I'm not giving the love for nothing, man. This is business. So you wanted to be loved by the world. It's not you who wanted to love the world. The pressure was that loneliness where you want a hug in return. You understand that? This mechanic of, using spirituality. I want to love the world. It makes you annoying. You're just looking for a validation. That is not simple. Good. So if you want to find your need of validation, you will transmigrate your love in whoever needs it. And I will receive no confirmation of that love. It will be between me and God. And the part of you that wants something in return, it will rise. Yes, I want attention. So now you can face it. Because that feeling that wants something in return for your love, this part of you is not simple. This is a complicated part that wants attention and validation. It's what does not respect others and their space. Good. So let's face it. Simplicity. Contemplate yourself as simple, or potentially simple if you practice. Being a simple person. It is not hiding in shame. It is simply having no desire to cause turbulence. You're not hiding. You're simply not overexpressing what is not desired anyway. The last month, 2 months ago, there's a young woman that I enjoy seeing her smile. She smiles at her clients at the grocery store. I have no intention of anything else than seeing her smile. But I go to the shopping center. She is there. I smile back. Hello, how are you? And at one point, like maybe last month, I said, you look tired this week compared to the week before. She did look tired. She explained, it's a period for school exam, something like that. So it was 2 months ago. That was too personal for her. She started looking at me when I go to that shopping center. What does he want? An older man looking at a young woman, giving a simple compliment. Thank you for helping me, while she puts food in my bags. Because she has to do it because of social distance, and then I take my bags. That's how they do it. It's just a thank you for that was okay, but that personal comment, now when I walked into the grocery store last time, she made the gaze. Hey, can I take my break now? Oh, all right. I've been eccentric. I was happy to see her smile. She took it personal. Or she felt invaded. All right. I was not simple. I wanted to see her smile because in these lonely times, it felt good. Because she always smiles. The thing is, I was looking for something. I was not simple. Simplicity will remind you your loneliness, because it is a place where you're not looking for something outside. You're not looking for a smile. You're not looking for a wave back or someone. You're not receiving a new friend. You're just being there. And there's nothing in your ego that can go grab that attention from others. That feeling of being involved in society. It's not dramatic. It's just a person that found me to be invasive because I am eccentric, because I say hello, because I love the world. I say this to old ladies and tough bearded men. Hey, you look strong today. You work out more? I do that. The young lady, it caused trouble for her. You know, maybe she is the target of too many old men. And she's tired of that. What I can do is look at how I was eccentric. I was looking for a social interaction. It happens. It is life, right? It happens. In Europe now, a lot of people are, interacting socially. In Canada, they're super strong about keep your distance, don't see people. Well, most people I see are elsewhere in the world, and I can't even travel, So, well, it's not wise to do so, I guess. I would have trouble when I come back to the country. So, of course, these feelings, they arise, and I become eccentric. So I hope you can use my story to recognize yourself. When you interact, hoping to get something out of it. But I hope you'll also be able to understand those who do that. Because if you recognize it in yourself, you'll recognize those who are trying to get something out of interacting with you. You don't have to validate them, but have compassion for these people who just don't understand what is going on. Simplicity is essential to find balance in your life, to be centered. To find harmony in the world. A world that does not necessarily do personal growth. Simplicity. It's important. The more you practice with simplicity, the less you will see complicated mountains. And you'll see them just as they are. A pile of a few simple things that you'll just take one simple thing at a time and deal with it. Contemplate simplicity. It is a virtue in a 10th plane. It is part of the path of the saint and the mage. It allows you to find yourself. It leads to humility. Be simple. And as you practice being simple, when there is an urge to interact with others, you must find what is looking for something in return out of these interactions. As long as you're alive here, you are incarnate, you are human. You will want to interact with others. I love to interact with others, of course. And I have a desire, a loneliness that I will answer through interaction, of course. So find a situation where it is culturally and socially acceptable and interact. Practice simplicity. The more personal growth we do, the more we see the ego as it is. This machine of mechanics, of reactions, of beliefs, of traumas, programs. And the less we care about limiting ourselves. Why should I limit myself? I have no more shame. I could hug the world, you know. Yes, you could. There's a part that is simplicity, humility, compassion in respecting others in their space. Our ego does not like this one. But what about all my evolution as a great mage? I am not troubled by anything. I have all the freedom I desire. I can express whatever I want. Ha 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 ha. Yeah. Freedom, eh? Using freedom in a way not to be virtuous in other ways. Freedom as a way to not be compassionate. Freedom as a way to be complicated, eccentric. Freedom as loving yourself. Well, they just have to take me that way. This is who I am. Yeah, freedom to be an asshole. There are other virtues. Yeah, simplicity, humility, compassion. The virtues are pure when they can all be active at the same time. Yeah. So today was a lesson of simplicity and humility, and I hope you have enjoyed it, and it will be useful in recognizing yourself and growing from that. I want to do a parenthesis. Maybe I should do a full class on that next time then. Yeah, simplicity. Let's stick with that topic for next classes chosen. Thank you. It was nice to see you again, to feel your gaze.